Hi, I'm Karen. I thought I'd make another video today. One thing about me is that I'm a huge animal lover. I have several cats, a small dog, some fish in an aquarium in the house, and some fish out in a pond I dug out back. So today I want to introduce to you, and make sure we get her on camera. Oh yeah, this is Allison. This is Allison Mabel. And she's my pretty girl. She kind of moody, but that's okay. Allison says hi, and she hopes to see you in the future. Sometimes she lays back here on the bed with me and keeps me company. I'm gonna let her go down right now, and she may want out in a minute, so I'll probably have to let her out. So she makes that call. But I just wanted to introduce you to some of the animals I have. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on her. And I had her since about August 7th, 2018. And how I got her is I was doing some data entry at a small office here in town, and we broke for lunch. And one of the ladies, when she went to lunch, she went to Walgreens to get snacks like trail mix and a drink to have for lunch. And she didn't even make it into the store. Somebody had dumped this precious 6-week-old baby off behind the propane tanks. I know they had to be sitting there watching her because she was just there. And at 6 weeks old, she couldn't have. It's in the middle of town. She couldn't have just walked there. So I think somebody just dropped her off and watched and made sure somebody picked her up. Well, the lady at the office picked her up and she brought her back to the office. And I love kitties. I'm like, can I have her? Can I have her? So I got her and I named her Allison. And all my cats have middle names, so it's Allison Mabel. For short, I call her Allie Mae. She kind of answers to anything. But that's her. And I'll be introducing you to some more of my babies as we go along. So they help me out a lot. So in the previous video, I mentioned some struggles that I was having, about turning 50. And it wasn't the fact of turning 50 flipped my health. It was the fact that I caught a cold. And I am referring to some notes because I do want to touch on some certain points. And I don't want to forget because at time I still deal with some brain fog. So this is going to help keep me on track. So the cold I had lasted about 3 weeks, and then it came along with some physical expressions kind of lingered on. So, and if I tackle one of those physical expressions that would appear, like I would either change my diet or take a supplement and kind of take care of it. I thought I was on top of the world. But it just seemed like when I would fix one thing, something else would occur. Like maybe every 3 months, things are just kind of popping up. It's like. So one of them that I noticed was my taste in food had changed. Hold on, let Miss Allison Mabel out. I knew it. See you later, Allie. Okay, we're back. So as I was saying, my food taste had changed some. I wouldn't say some, I'd say a lot. So foods that I did like, I just didn't like anymore. Just like, they're just disgusting. Certain foods that I used to like for, I noticed I couldn't tolerate protein anymore. Now, as a bodybuilder, I used to be, I ate proteins. I ate truckloads of protein. When in my competitive years, I'd taken up to 280 grams of protein divided by 6 meals in a day, and that was to build and maintain muscle mass. Well, with that, I was weight training 3 to 4 days a week and doing cardio 2 to 4 days a week. So it was a pretty active lifestyle, and it actually took me a while to notice that the protein was gross to me. It took me a little bit, and I just kind of finally pinpointed. I'm eating eggs. I'm like, every bite, I just wanted to throw up. It was gross, so I just kind of stopped eating protein because I didn't like it. I didn't know what to do. If I ate, it would be junk food. I mean, I was really gravitated toward pasta, one of the worst things I could eat. So I was eating a lot of pasta and processed meals, the frozen meals. Those aren't that great. Even if it says healthy choice, it's still processed. So my diet took a complete change too. Those are things I've been trying to fix, but improvement. There has been some improvement, which is the good news. I've taken steps over these last few years, holistically and spiritually, to do whatever I can to improve my current health situation, because I gotta tell you, for a while they weren't good for me. I couldn't I couldn't see myself living in this physical pain day in and day out, hour after hour, and you can't get help. Nobody would help me. I go to these professionals for help, and they just kind of write me off as 50-year-old needs hormones, or it's in my head. And this whole process of improving my health, I feel like it did take a while because of the chronic pain I was in. But to the everyday person, it may look like I improved quite quickly, but when you're in chronic pain, the healing process is very slow because you feel every bit of it, every bit of pain, every second. It's just there. And it's even worse when you go to people for help and they won't help you. Now, as I said, this chronic pain I'm in, it didn't start right after the code, probably about 9 months later. But up until that point, different things happened, like ringing in my ear. I kind of checked that to high blood pressure, which leads to stroke and heart attacks and all that. I changed my diet, went to keto diet, and in 4 days, the ringing disappeared. I'm like, nailed it. So, thought I was doing good. And then I started losing my hair, and it kind of took a while for me to notice. I'm like, well, I am losing my hair. I'm starting to see it all in the brush and in the shower. I'm like, oh. So I took some hair, skin, and nail supplements, and 2 to 3 weeks, fix the situation. Even my hairdresser said she saw the sprigs growing back. So I'm like, cool, I got this under control. And but when that chronic pain hit, and I actually tried to go back, and when I noticed that pain where it was, after a week or so, I was like, I'm noting this down. And I kind of backtracked the best I could, and I think I kind of nailed it. I kind of noticed it, that chronic pain really kind of starting. I have the date written down, about April 4th, 2002. That's kind of, and it just progressively got worse until it peaked. Oh. The first day, I felt like I tackled this pain. I've done a lot of work in it, a lot of holistic work, and I think a lot of spiritual work has helped, and bringing certain things to me to maybe help me with the situation. And I kind of feel like I tackled the chronic pain about November 1st of 2025. I'm not 100% better, and I do have my bouts daily, and I try to change when those set in, and I try to deal with those the best I can and try to not make it worse. So, but it is a struggle each day, but I do have my successes on the other ends of that struggle each day. I try to end the day on a good note as much as possible. So every day is not perfect, but I'm about 85% better from this chronic pain issue that I've been in, and I'm looking to get 100% since I've made it this far. I can keep going. So my goal is to get my health back and getting back into the gym and rebuild my body. I'm not looking to walk muscle bound again. I would just like some of it back, because that's what I'm used to, walking around with a certain amount of muscle mass. But before we tap out, I want to at least share one of the many ways that I've been trying to improve. And as I mentioned before, the cold that I had kind of took my health and my body in the same instant. I mean, both took a 180 flip. And I mean, the person I was before this code was not the same person after the code. Not in any way, not the same person afterwards. Not in any way. Completely different person. And not a person that I want to be. But I used to drink a gallon of water. So when bodybuilders drink gallons of water, because of the amount of protein they take in, it helps to keep the kidneys flushed. So drinking a gallon of water was pretty much normal for me. But after my cold, barely drinking any water at all was a struggle. I just really didn't. I would drink it to choke down a vitamin, which at this point, after my cold, I noticed vitamins weren't even working. Before, I could tell whatever supplements I was taking, I could tell they were working. Vitamins, they were not even working in my body. I literally could tell that. I mean, after 30 years of being in fitness and bodybuilding, I knew my body pretty well. So my goal for myself, and hopefully to inspire some of you too, is to increase my water intake. And I've been working on that for the last week or so. I do better when I work out. I'm trying to get back in the gym. Still a struggle, but what I do is I take a sip between each set, and that helps gets a good bit of water in at the end of the day. In fact, um, a little tip about water is sodium attaches to water and it's flushed out the body. So a little tip I want to share with you, and I don't want you to bank on it and live by this, but it's a good way to get water retention if you want to get ready for an event or something like that. So more water in equals more water out. And I kind of tested this on myself one time. I was prepping for a show, so things were pretty much tight and controlled at that point. So I said, I'm just curious. At the end of the day, after drinking a full gallon of water, I weighed myself. I said, okay, noted it. Went to bed, got up the next morning, emptied my bladder, and I weighed myself again. 4 pounds lost. So that's a good little water tip if you want to shed some water weight pretty quickly for an event, fit into a dress or whatever, or, something like that. At least it's healthy. But it's better if you can be consistent on it. Keep that water flowing. It's going to help everything just work better in your body. And that's my goal, to bump that right back up again. So I'm going to try to share little fitness tips as we go along here and there. So here's to you. Drink your water. I also bought a water filter. I like to drink that filtered water. And I want to end this video on that I am doing my best and things are getting better. So I've been saying this phrase when things get tough and intense, and whatever word you want to use to help get you through it, whatever phrase you want to use, with these positive mantras do seem to help. So I repeat it in my head until whatever negative thought is in there kind of goes away. And it doesn't take long, about 10 minutes. Even if you got a repetitive, annoying song in your head. I've done it with this before, this annoying song in my head. And I just kept repeating to myself, I'm doing my best. Things are getting better. And I just kept saying it over and over and over in my head. And after about 10 minutes, hey, that's in my head now, not that annoying repetitive song. So I'm doing my best and things are getting better. And I'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in.